Am I the asshole for telling my sister to stop taking showers with her husband in my house? My F32, sister F28, and her husband M32 moved in with us 2 days ago after they lost their apartment to medical debts for their child, my nephew. My husband and I are more than happy to have them stay for few weeks till they get this resolved. However, yesterday at 7 p.m., I was in the kitchen when my husband rushed in and said that he saw both my sister and her husband walk out of the bathroom. They'd most likely taken a shower together. My husband said that it irked him and I agreed that what they did was somewhat inappropriate. He asked me to speak to my sister on the matter and I did. She got defensive asking how this is affecting me or my husband in any way. I told her that it made my husband feel uncomfortable and would rather that they just take their shower separately. She started ranting about being overwhelmed by their son's health problems and not having some alone time together as a married couple and found this activity as a bonding time to spend together. I apologized for how she felt but requested that she just do as asked. She got mad at me and said that I was being inconsiderate and she didn't understand my husband's hang-up on what she and her husband do. We started arguing and she stormed off to the guest's room where my nephew and brother-in-law are. She's not speaking to me but my husband said I did the right thing by speaking to her and setting this boundary. Am I the asshole? Am I, and my husband, overreacted to this? Some infos. 1. My husband did not mention hearing anything, just that he saw them get out of the bathroom. And yes, they were clothed. 2. It's the only bathroom in the house. 3. They spent approximately 10+ in the shower according to my husband. Edit. I'm gonna bring my husband to look at the responses and help answer some questions down here, okay? Just give me a few minutes. Edit. I'm sorry I can't respond to every single comment but my husband says he's uncomfortable and doesn't want to expand on the situation. Info. Unless they were loudly banging, why do you care? There's nothing weird or untoward by a couple showering together. My husband and I often shower together and 99% of the time it is completely non-sexual. We find it to be a nice time to chat without fear of interruption from our kids. You are the asshole. As long as the shower's clean when they're done, you shouldn't care. I was in the kitchen when my husband rushed in and said that he saw both my sister and her husband walk out of the bathroom. This is a strange hang-up for him to have. Was he raised in an environment with unhealthy views about sex and intimacy? Am I the asshole for not letting her boyfriend sleep over on mobile and throwaway because my daughter uses Reddit? My 50-male daughter F20 is in college and stays at her M21 boyfriend's a lot, which me and my wife do not like very much. We let her do what she wants nonetheless. She pays for her own tuition and works plus pays for all of her own things minus we pay for rent. We have a room for her and she does live with us. She asked if her boyfriend could come sleep over too so that she could feel more comfortable staying at home more often. We said absolutely not. She was upset because she said it was her own room and that she has been dating him almost 3 years. We just will not allow it under our roof and she threatened to move in with him. We really want her to continue living here but do not want them sleeping together under our roof. We do not like it with her there either but she is an adult. We have a pretty good relationship so this has been hard for us. So am I the asshole? Edit. My wife and I discussed it a bit and we currently are thinking we can put an air mattress next to her bed if they leave the door a bit cracked. I understand we are the assholes, it is just hard changing our beliefs. We love her and she has really been disconnecting from us and not coming around at all. Edit. Our son already moved out and into an apartment with his girlfriend, he does not come around often. Edit. My daughter texted she found the post. I will do an update once we talk. You are the asshole. While yes, your house, your rules should also be reasonable. Yours are not. We have 2022 not 1822. Face reality. They already do the horizontal tango and probably have for some years. In my opinion the only reason why that should make really you uncomfortable is if your walls were paper thin. Edit. 1. Thanks for all the upvotes. 2. As I have written in one of my comments, OP can enforce any house rules they want. But then they shouldn't be surprised if the daughter moves out and their relationship deteriorates. Edit 2. And thanks for the awards. Am I the asshole for begging my wife to just leave my mom alone and not confront her? My mom is currently visiting us. This is the first time since we moved 3 years ago. She is not one of those intrusive mills, so sometimes I just wish my wife would let the little thing slide. My mom and my wife had some issues years ago, but my mom has been fine during this visit. The only issue is she isn't eating, and I mean literally isn't eating anything. She is clearly going out and buying food, because she doesn't seem sick or lethargic at all. But since getting to our house the only thing I have seen her eat is one chocolate peanut butter cup. She sits with us while we eat, but always says she isn't hungry, doesn't feel well, though she seems fine. Later in the evening she asks to use my car to get coffee, so I am sure she is going out, getting what she wants, and binge eating enough to get through the next day. Personally I don't care. She is being a good guest, it's nice for me to see her, and she isn't being careless with my car, so no problem. My wife however is furious. She is currently not speaking to my mom due to this. She says I need to confront her or she will. I flat out refused as I said she is being polite about it and who are we to force her to eat. My wife called me spineless and said she is going to handle it. She called her mom and sister to get their opinion and is now all ready for a confrontation. I broke down this morning and begged her to just let it go. She accused me of wanting her to just shut up and endure for my sake and is now mad at me. She says she has to do it as I am being a mama's boy. My mom is flying home tomorrow and I just do not see any reason to make this an issue. No judgment. There's more information about this that you aren't sharing. Are you and your wife or mom on a special diet, keto vegan? Does someone have history of ED? I feel like there are some major details missing because what you're describing is just very strange behavior. That said, I don't see any reason you can't have a simple conversation with your mom about it. Why does this have to be a confrontation? Info. Why is your mother doing this? You don't say why she refuses to eat the food being prepared in the home? It's extremely weird, and considered rude in many cultures, to be a guest in someone's house and refuse to actually eat with them. You're not telling us everything. I want to say you aren't an asshole here, but I have a gut feeling you're leaving a lot out. Am I the asshole for refusing to watch my SIL's child even though she had a meltdown? I, 33F. Have a daughter, 5F. My SIL. Long-term partner of my stepbrother Jake. Tina, 34F. Has a daughter, Cassie, also 5 from a previous relationship. Every summer for the past few years, me, my stepsiblings, and our partners, have visited our parents at the holiday retreat they run from anywhere between 4–7 weeks. This past summer, I was there for 6 weeks and Jake and Tina were there for 4. My husband was there for 3 weeks on and off due to work commitments, and I brought the nanny. During the 3rd week Jake and Tina were there. My husband and I decided to take my daughter on a day trip, as the nanny had the day off and we were going a little stir-crazy. We told everyone at breakfast, and afterwards when it just the women at the table finishing our tea, Tina asked if we could take Cassie with us on our day out. I was very confused as to why Tina would ask this as I have barely any interaction with Cassie. I find some of her behavior very off-putting and I don't have a natural inclination towards children, and second, Tina and I don't know each other well enough that I'd ever consider asking her such a favor. I said no, it was just a family day out for the 3 of us, and presumed that would be the end of it, but Tina insisted. She begged me to take Cassie and said she hasn't had a break the whole summer, she's overwhelmed, and would like to spend some time with Jake. I said no again, and Tina asked if my nanny could watch Cassie for a few hours, but I told her it's the nanny's day off. Tina started to get tearful, saying she really thought that as a fellow mother I would understand needing a break, since I have someone employed for that very purpose. I didn't know what to say to that, so I just said goodbye to my mother and started to leave, and as I did, Tina burst into tears. My mother told me to go and she would calm Tina down. When we came back later that evening Tina wasn't at dinner, and my parents and Jake were babysitting Cassie. My mother said she had reached a compromise with Tina that they would watch Cassie for the evening so Tina could rest. They can't during the day as they are still actively running the retreat. The next day Tina reappeared and everything was back to normal, though she was noticeably colder towards me, but it didn't bother me. A few days ago we were discussing all getting together for Christmas in a group chat, and Tina said she was really looking forward to it but that she hopes we could all be a bit more accommodating with the kids and that it takes a village. I just replied that I wouldn't be needing any accommodations, thanks, and the conversation moved on. My mother says while she understands why I said no, seeing the state Tina was in and the meltdown she had after I left, she would have said yes. She said I don't understand how tough it is because I have so much help. So, am I the asshole? Not the asshole. As others have said, asking was fine. Guilting or acting entitled was not. And commenting on an element of this others haven't yet. It isn't your nanny's job to watch other people's kids. And you are not in a position to accept that responsibility for her. When friends would ask if my nanny could pick their kids up or watch them after school or other things, I would say, you'd have to ask her. Her hourly rate is X. I will let her know I'm okay with her also watching your kids that day if she feels comfortable with additional responsibility. Edit. Added the omitted word, not. Not the asshole. So Tina threw a tantrum like her 5-year-old when she didn't get her way? If she needs a break that badly, she can herself hire a babysitter or arrange childcare for her child with someone else, not throw a tearful fit when someone says no. No is a complete answer, and you shouldn't feel guilted into helping her when you don't want to.